We got the stage here. We couldn't afford it at the time. And when I came back from the cruise, I was sitting right there in that seat where Deaconess Barbara is sitting. And the other man was sitting right there that was showing how beautiful the place was where Deaconess Teresa is sitting. Reverend Run was sitting right there where Deaconess Justine is sitting. And they said, we did all this and we need our money today. And I was saying, you know, this really looks nice. Y'all have really done an awesome job. Rev was sitting there. I could feel Rev was feeling for me. He said, oh, Bishop really went out here this time. Yeah, this thing ran us over $200,000. I says, you'll have your money. I says, we'll take care of all the logistics tomorrow. The other guy says, but we gotta have this money. We were hoping that you would give it to us today. I says, tomorrow you'll have everything. Don't ask me where it came from. I can't tell you. And that's the walk of the believer. You may want to write this down. God is pleased when he is believed. God is pleased when what? Some of you don't have anything to believe God for. Mark Victor Hansen sat there and he gave me a test. He says, let me see if I can find the words. And we did a show with him back here. He came and spent a couple of days with me. Wow, turn right to it. This is God. He said to me, he took the right hand. He says, your thumb is what God's destiny is for you. And he talked to us about, clarity is power. Then he said, 3 things you will do this year. And that was for the 3 fingers. So the thumb represents what is God's destiny for you? And I said, to touch the world with the prophetic. So you got to ask yourself the question, what is God's destiny for you? He says, what are the 3 things you will do this year? And I said things like, I will impact the world with the word of the Lord. I would expand on television so that people could be coming into the knowledge of the prophetic. And I will prophesy to, I gave some crazy numbers. He says, and the little finger is, what's a little big challenge? That one thing, that little big challenge. I says, my little big challenge, that thing which is your challenge, but you can manage it, but it's just a nuisance just to remind you. I said, my little big challenge is putting everything to organize everything. So he started asking me, he says, what are some of the things you want to do to touch the world? What's some things you want to do? I said, I want to touch the world for Christ. I want to empower people's lives. I want to multiply people. After about 5 things, he said, stop. He says, these are seminars that we give, and those seminars are $25,000 a pop, where he takes people, and there's a couple of hundred that meet, $25,000 each for 3 days. He takes them into some intense training. He says, I tell people to name the things that they want to do, He says, and most people are, I like to get all my bills paid. I like to get a new car. I like to get a new wardrobe. I like to have another house. I like to have a summer home. He says, you are starting at levels where people start at number 40 and 50. They don't get into 40 and 50 into touching the world. Because what they try to get you to understand that the reason you are here is to empower others. That's the only reason you're here. See, this whole thing about money is not about you being comfortable. It's about how many other success stories you can create. That's why you start working under supervision so you can make your supervisor successful. It's very simple. That's why you work under supervision so you can make your supervisor successful. And when you can't make your supervisor successful and then you stay on unemployment, you become a criminal, then what you do, you'll make a system successful because then they put you in prison and you work for free labor. So you're here on the planet to make others successful. That's the only reason why you're here. Then, after you get to that place where you no longer need supervision, say with me, when I get to the place, like the ant, where I can work without supervision. And see, that's the success of the ant when he tells us in Proverbs 6 and verse 6, it says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide," listen prophets, listen house prophets, might be good that we're not streaming tonight, "who having no guide," keep playing, "overseer or ruler," which means that only sluggards have a guide, an overseer, and a ruler. "Provide her meat in the summer and gather her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep?" Now the ant, here's the secret of wealth and prosperity. It's summed up in 2 words. Your ability to be diligent. The ant is diligent. And the second thing is your ability to work without supervision. That's why we tell you, when you do what you're told, you're a slave. When you do more than what you're told, you're a free man. Like, we're going to get ready and take a poll. We've assigned people to different individuals that they're supposed to be prophets to. Did you call your person? Or were you waiting for us to tell you what time you need to call them? See, if you can't come to a place where you can work without supervision, then you're not ready for the wealth of the wicked. Because you're not thinking from high places. That's why the wealth of the wicked is laid up. I like that. Spiritual wicked's in high places. You're not operating from a high place. You're still operating from a low place, sluggard. When you're a sluggard, you're in a laid down position. You're not in a getting up position. See, you're supposed to come to a point in life that you don't have to be told what to do. Now we're still talking wealth and prosperity, right? We're still talking wealth and prosperity. So he says, "Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall poverty come as one that traveleth, and thy want as an armed man." Okay, Bishop Jordan, then what are you saying to me here tonight? You're on the planet to make other people rich. When you get to the place, and the only reason why you're making your boss rich because you're trying to get rich yourself. But the reason it becomes miserable is because you're focusing more on you